Hello everyone. We will get started here in just a moment. Happy Saturday night. Welcome to episode 4 of our Seaside Wool Applique adventure. Hi Christina. Woohoo, and we are going to dive right in. It is, but we actually got 3 more minutes to go. Hi Mark. Howdy, welcome. Oh my goodness. So, I've got the pieces fused to wool that I drew out on tracing paper last night. And we'll cut those out and sew those down, but we're gonna trace out some more stuff before we get started with our applique session tonight. Hope everyone's having a fabulous Saturday night. Hi Christine. Ooh, Christine from Michigan. Christine, I'll be in Michigan in about 2 weeks. Woohoo, about a week and a half actually. Shelby Township, Michigan at Decorative Stitches. But what we're working on, of course, if you haven't seen the last 3 episodes, this is what we're making. This is wool, all 100% wool applique. I've been going through my wool stash and playing with wool fabrics today. Here's one of the things out of my wool stash is these are all dark burgundy wools, and they're charm square. God, it really isn't. It's so dark it doesn't really show up on the camera, but it's red and black and plaids and houndstooth and some solid burgundy reds. There we go, see it a little better there. Try to get the light to hit it better. But anyway, you get the idea. These are some 9 by 10 inch squares of wool that came out of that I had in my stash. A burgundy and a forest green and a mossy olive green and a very dark gunmetal blue. Anyway, got lots of wool to play with. Ooh-wee. And we're going to get started. It is 6 o'clock and we're going to get started and get this show going. While my hand feels good, I want to do some more tracing. Tracing over here on my light box. I'm going to swap the camera. Okay. Turn my light box on, and since I'm tracing it out on fusible stabilizer, double-sided fusible, so there's the right side of the pattern. If you're going to trace on a fusible and apply it to the back of your applique fabric, you want the right side of your pattern to be face down. That way it doesn't change the direction. If it's a directional design, it won't change the direction. You'll get what you see. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay, but what I've done here, this is the roof. We trace out all the pieces for the church. And then here's the stained glass windows, the door right there, and these are shrubs and all that fun stuff. Let's see. Next I have to do this. This is the church body right here. I have to trace that out, and the church steeple roof and the church steeple base. Have these 3 pieces right here left to trace for that. Let's get a piece of stabilizer. I want the paper side up. The rough side, which is where the fusible is, I want that to be down, like so. This is a lead pencil, mechanical lead pencil, and that's what I'm going to use to trace with. Beautiful sunny day here today, but it was cool. It was crisp and cool. It was a nice day. It was above freezing, so it was a nice day. My light box is actually a 13 by 19 inch light box. It's made by Daylight Lamp Company and is called the Wafer 2. Okay, there are those two pieces. See that right there? Steeple and the steeple base. Hi, Tracy. Oh, is it snowing out there today, Tracy? Okay, and this is the actual church building. I'm going to trace out next. I didn't make it out of the studio today. We were busy. So I'm doing a little shopping trip tomorrow. Excuse me, to Joann's for patterns and stuff. Also, right now the Pellon interfacing is half off at Joann's. So I'm going to buy a bolt of fusible fleece, maybe 2. I use a lot of that. I've cut into my last bolt here today, so it's time to replenish before I completely run out. Okay. There's that. The body of the church. Oh wow, Tracy, awesome. How wonderful. Everybody, when it snows in Colorado, it's not like other parts of the country. You can get a lot of snow and it's practically gone in 48 hours due to the beautiful sun and altitude out there. It's awesome. So those are all the pieces, I think, for the church. Let me look at this here. And actually, I have traced out all of the pattern pieces on this one page. Yay. So I know I'm done with this sheet of paper. I'm going to fold it up and keep it safe. And then here's the other set of pattern pieces. So this here is the lighthouse. This is the lightkeeper's cottage and its roof. We're not going to be working on those next. The house. I don't have a whole lot left to trace. I've got all of this views, this pine trees and the large sailboat. That's all ready to go. And yeah, so we are good with our tracing for tonight. I've got a lot of applique to get done tonight. So, we're going to leave these over here and turn this off. And we're going to move our cameras and everything and go back over to the sewing area. So hold on just a moment. Let me move this one first. Okay. Swap to the one that I just moved. Here we go. Okay. Then I will move my little handheld camera so I can reach it from the other side. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Hi there. Excuse me. Now, before I move my other bright light, if I must try something, see if I can get rid of the glare, the brightness of the glare that I was experiencing last night on the camera that was on the sewing machine. Let me move my other little camera just a little bit here. Oops, I gotta go grab my mouse also. I won't be swapping any cameras without that. There we go. Now then, let's try this. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, see, it's not the studio lighting that's producing this. It's this light right up under here. I don't think I can turn that off. Let me check something and see. Let me see here. Actually, I can adjust that. How about that? Maybe. I really didn't do what I thought it would do. So, that's not the one I want. Let's see here. Okay, so that's not going to happen. I didn't think it would, but you never know until you try, right? Woo-wee. So let me try one more thing here. Let's see if I just put something else under here. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to get it rolling here. Hi, Donna. Okay. Let me just go ahead and move my other camera back, my other light source back around then. Now that I know that that is not what caused what we were experiencing last night. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, Tracy. I have some, where did I put that? I have embroidery tape here in this room somewhere. Let me try that. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Simply because lights on our modern machines are super bright LEDs. But let's just run try some Floriani embroidery tape. Let's see if that helps it any. As you can see, it really made zero difference. Let's try it one more place. That's a little better, but it's all washed out right here. So that's really not going to help. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me try something else here. No, it's not. I will move the camera closer and get it at an angle so the camera's not reading that light. What's happening is the lens is pointed right directly for this, and that's why the sensor in the camera is reading this light source is what it is. But once I start moving stuff around, we'll see if we can't make that better. So here is everything I've got fused so far. There are the trees, that pretty green houndstooth. This is all wool, of course. Before we get started with anything else, I'm going to trim all of this. There we go. Move this. And grab those over here. Now when I'm tracing, I don't care if my lines when I'm tracing aren't exactly straight, because I have a pretty steady hand with the scissors, and I will get those nice and smooth like I want them once I'm at this stage. Mike had to go over and drop off machines he's repaired to a quilt shop in Kewanee, Illinois. It's about an hour's drive from our shop here. He goes over there and picks up machines that the ladies bring in to service them. Anyway, they have a wonderful selection of wool, and he surprised me with a gift of wool from the quilt shop today. We'll be cutting on a piece of it. I swapped out one piece, substituted some of the wool, one piece of the wool that came with my kit for a piece that he got me today. Okay. They do have some of the wool on the bolt. It's $30 a yard, everybody. Like I said all along in this process, when you have scraps like that, you don't throw this away. Okay. Not when it comes to wool. Now, where did that piece go? There it is. Okay. Now then, let's cut this up here. There we go. I'll just cut those little pieces off I left attached. And there is one pine tree. Woohoo! That wool did not come in the quilt kit that I'm working on, so I substituted some wool out of my stash for the pine tree wool. Tracy, what I will try to find, and there's some somewhere, I'm just not 100% sure where it's at. I'm going to try for that light issue some black electrical tape. I think that might work really well to block it. So what projects is everyone that's watching right now, just type it in the window. You have any projects going on? What are you working on? And one more. There we go. There's another pine tree. There's 2 pine trees. Okay. Let's clean that all up. Okay, but look at that. See, I'm not throwing none of that away. Okay. This will be the 2 cells for the large, sailboat. Excuse me. Let's get those cut out. There's one. Then before I go over to the ironing board, I'll be making several trips back and forth to the ironing board to fuse this down, because some of it is layered. So I'm going to put down my pieces per the instructions so I know that I layer that properly. Oh, wonderful, Mark. Congrats. Which one do you have, Mark? I'm just curious. They're all great. Oh, wonderful, Janelle. That'll be fun. Okay, there are those. Scraps, not throwing them away. They go into the wool scrap box. Okay. Oh, wonderful, Mark. I had a Q20. I love the Q20. Ooh, Tracy, that sounds like fun. I'll have to look that one up. Yeah, I will tell you, everybody, I'm totally hooked on wool now. I haven't worked on this. I've had this kit for 7 years, and I haven't pulled it out and worked on it on purpose because among everything else that I do, I don't want to become obsessed with another facet of the quilting world, but boy howdy, this, just to be able to touch and feel all the sumptuousness of this wool is, yeah, it's this is very addictive. It is for me anyway. Next is the sailboat body. Mark, that Q20 is an awesome machine. You made a wise choice there, my friend. Okay, sailboat body for the large sailboat. And this will be fun to cut out. Look at the dolphins. That beautiful marbled gray fabric. Oh, wonderful, Janelle. Well, this shop that's here, it's about 45 miles from here, but you have to go through rural roads from where our house is to get there. So it's about an hour drive each way. They have it by the yard, and they have fat quarters of it also. Let's see here. These scissors are going to be too big to cut this out, the shape out with. So I'm going to set those there. And I'm going to pull out these little pair of Mary Kay Buckley's Perfect Scissors. We're going to try these on this. Because there are some tiny little shapes on these dolphins to try to cut out. Yep, that will do it. But all these pieces I'm cutting is what I'm going to stitch down tonight, everyone. So as you can see, I'm probably going to be here for a little while tonight. Okay. Those are making some nice cuts right there. Let's look at the wool. Perfect. This is like a marbled gray and silver wool. Perfect for a dolphin. Perfect. That was in the kit. That fabric was. Okay. Well, these are going to be fun to stitch down. There's a lot of little twists and turns. It's okay, Bobo. That was just Daddy. That was just Daddy. It's okay. It's okay, Bobo. He's my little guard dog. He stays in here with me. But check out that little dolphin. Those are adorable. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yes, I have my new obsession, everybody. This is going to be bad. In a good way, but it's going to be bad. Yeah, that little the quilt box. They have scraps. They have a vintage suitcase full of wool scraps, and each little scrap is marked. I mean, a little scrap like that might be 20 cents. It's really kind of a cool idea. I'd never thought of that, but I could, after seeing the price of the wool per yard, yeah, I can see why. I know wool would be beautiful to do hand applique with, but that's just not me, everybody. That's just not something that's going to happen. So don't ever expect that. But if you are into that, Valdani makes some beautiful wool applique thread. Okay, dolphin number 2. Got one more to go. Dolphin number 2. Hello there, Flipper. I'm going to call them all Flipper. Okay. I love dolphins. My upcoming trip, I'll be gone from the house for almost 4 weeks. I am taking my sewing machine that I'm working with on this project with me, so I have something to do in the hotels at night. I'll leave here on February the 10th, I think. Anyway, it's a week from next Tuesday I leave. And then I'll get home around about almost 4 weeks later in March. There we go. Dolphin number 3. Thank you, Robin. Dolphin number 3. First, I'll be headed out on my way to Michigan. Excuse me. And then from there, I'm driving to Daytona Beach. I'm driving everywhere on this trip. I'll be driving to Daytona Beach for the Daytona AQS Quilt Show. And then from there, I go to Palatka, Florida. And then the following week, I will be in Sarasota and then in Naples for flash sewing. Okay, got those done. The rest of this is some of my new wool that Mike got me today. Isn't that pretty? Nice and soft. Everything I'm traveling for right now were bookings that were done last fall. Oh, come on, you get that right there. This piece I'm cutting here is for the rowboat that's on the beach. There we go. And this little piece here is the inside of the rowboat. Yes, it is, Christina. And actually, though, it's not a whole lot more than when I normally drive down to Naples. In the grand scheme of things, it sounds like a lot, but it's basically just a little bit more than one round trip for me to go down to Naples and back. And I've always driven down to Florida from here. It's all good. I have days in between to rest and recuperate and hopefully hit the beach. Hoping maybe I can go to the beach after the AQS quilt show is over with. We'll see. Inside of the rowboat. Right there. Okay. Oops. There we go. This will be the sandy beach path up to the lighthouse. That's what this one will be. I've only got one more piece of fabric to cut on, everybody, and I'll be ready to start fusing and stitching. Okay. Okay, there's that. This will be like a sandy beach path going to the lighthouse up a hill. Now on this, I have one sailboat flag to go on the very top of the sailboat mast. And this piece of wool is out of my stash. Okay. And trim that off right there. If you remember from last night, the other flags I did were half that size. Okay. There are all of those. Yay. Okay. Set these pieces back over here because I'll reuse those again later. And this. And this. And this. Okay. And put that over there. Almost done moving stuff around, everyone. There we go. Okay. Now then. Scrap, 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 scrap. Okie dokie. Now, Now I have to make an artistic decision. You can see these. I followed the instructions exactly, and these are the clouds. And they're okay, but boy howdy, I would much rather have had something, a wool that was more contrasty for that. And now I do have some, so I'm thinking about, I don't know. I think I'm going to just leave it as is, but I would like to, because then it would be too much up there. So when I'm actually going to quilt this, I've decided I'm going to free motion quilt it, or use a serpentine stitch to put in some detail quilting. Anyway, I'm going to leave it because I will enhance this background and texture it with some decorative stitching using some cool threads, is what I'm trying to say. Anywho, here is where we're at right now. So next, I'm going to have to get my instruction sheet and fuse these down in order and do some stitching. Let me grab that. Because I will tell you, doing this wool applique, this is something you do not want to have to try to rip it out. It would not be fun to try to rip out. You'd probably damage the wool, quite honestly. So it's like, oh, if you get it stitched down, make it work. Even if you have to add more something to it to cover something up, because that's not going to be easy to do. Okay. Wrong piece of paper, of course. I'll be right back. Let's see, where are you at? Where are you at? Instruction sheet. Okay. There you are. Okay. Woohoo! Now then, this is what I need right here. Next are two large pine trees. Okay. Next, two large pine trees. And then the three dolphins. So I'm going to go fuse. Hold on. I can actually fuse all of my pieces down after reading this, and it will be just hunky-dory fine. So I'm going to be over there for about 5 minutes, everyone, doing my fusing thing. So let me grab all of my pieces. Let's get a preview of this. This is going to be the before fusing picture. You can see it there. Okay. And now we'll take all of our little fusibles with us and our chart, and we're going to go fuse it. Okay. This is the fun part. I love doing the fusing part. Love doing the fusing part. I'm still here, everybody. Okay.
Did you tell everyone about your lovely find at the quilt box?
Yes, I did. Okay. Let's see here. Then the large sailboat. almost done, everybody. Almost done at the ironing board. Everyone, I have 3 more shapes to fuse down. Okay. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. So, I'm going to spread this out so you can see it as best as you can, as best as I can get. There we go. I'm going to move the camera around. Now I do have one more piece to fuse, but I'll have to stitch the rowboat on the beach here down, applique that all down before I put the next piece on. Okay, I got one piece left. In other words, I have one piece left to fuse. And, ooh-wee. I'm going to move the camera around so you can see everything that I was over there doing. Okay, here's one pine tree. This is the one, we stitched that one down last night. Here's the new one, the large sailboat. Right there. It's all got to be appliqued. Love how the dolphins look. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Aren't those adorable? Rowboat. 3 dolphins. Small sailboat from last night. And another large pine tree over here on this side. Woohoo! Guess what it is time to do, everyone? Now, once again, I get to do the fun thing of deciding what color thread. So I have the red thread from the flags from last night still in there. So I'm first going to do the large sailboat flag and this rowboat right here. The rowboat right there. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to go over there and fuse the other part to the rowboat down. Then I'll have all the fusing done for tonight. Okay. So once again, I'm on the Bernina 475 Quilters Edition machine. Kaffe Edition, hence all the bright colors and stuff on it. Isn't it pretty? I love this machine. And I'm using the number 23 foot. It is the applique foot. That is what it is used for. And I can tell you there's a groove right under the center of that foot. When you run the edge of that raw edge under there, it comes out perfect. I mean, check out the stitching. Look at that. Blanket stitches on everything, Tracy. I'm keeping it simple, and I'm just trying to have some uniformity to it throughout the piece. On this one, I'm not going to get wild and artistically creative on this one. Future ones, look out. Anything will go on those. But what I am going to do that the instructions don't call for, after this is done, I am going to put some detail stitching in all this plain background. And I'm going to use a serpentine stitch, and I'm going to put some fusible fleece on the back of it, I think, or I might put a wool batting on the back of it to do it with. We'll find that out later anyway. And then I have some cream wool that I'm going to use for the backing on it. Okay. And you know what? This might even be a table runner. I don't know yet. I don't know yet what I will use it for, but it will travel with me this year as one of my samples. So if you come to one of my live events, you will actually see this. First, I'm going to do the rowboat right here. And we're going to come over here and try to angle this so there's not quite as much glare. Let's see how that does. That's not bad, right? Okay. Let's try it right there. Okay. Let me get my stitch set up. I'm using stitch number 1309. It is, I don't know if that'll show up with this, the way I have this set up in here with all the lights. Hold on here. It's not going to show on the screen because it's but my lighting is kind of funky tonight. But it's on the Bernina, it's stitch 1309. Let me get back to it. There we go. and it is called a blanket stitch. Okay, it's not the double blanket stitch. I'm using it in a 12 weight thread, so if you were using a lighter weight thread, say like a 40 or a 50 weight thread, you could get away by using that double blanket stitch. It puts a double layer of thread into it. Anywho, here we go. Now I'm going to have my stitch length at 4 millimeters. That's where I've been running it on this project. Okay, there's 4. And my stitch width is 3. There we go. And we're good to go. All right. I'm using a size 90 top stitch needle. Okay. Here we go. Get my little embroidery scissors so I can clip that tail thread right there. I think that's working out a little bit better how I have the camera positioned. I also have one of my studio lights off. Let's see here, where are you at? There you are. Okay. Yes, I talked to my scissors. Puffin is zonked out on his little bed over here by the machine. He's been snoring. I don't know if you've heard him or not. Okay. Right there. There's that. Can you see that? Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? And this, remember what the thread I'm using for my applique thread, I'm using Sulky Blendables 12 weight. And believe it or not, it doesn't really look like it here, but it is variegated. So you can see some minute color changes. I just think it makes it look more handmade that way. And this actually, I think it really looks nice. Okay, so there's that. Now same thread. Gonna do the large sailboat flag next. Okay. Then I won't have to put that particular thread back in, I don't think, for tonight. Okay. And I do recommend using a fusible with wool. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you don't, wool has a tendency to fray, can really fray a lot. And that fusible out to the outer edges, that is going to prevent that from happening. Okay, it's not going to unravel as badly. Oh, hi, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Hi, Coralie. Big hugs, Coralie. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I mean, that foot. Now, I've owned Berninas before. I've had this foot. This foot did not come with this machine, but I've had it, gosh, for over 10 years, way over 10 years, and never used it until this project. I couldn't imagine using any other foot from any other machine that I have owned previously to this if I'm going to do this type of machine applique. It's just that simple. After using it, wow, just wow. Next, we're going to do the cells, and I'm going to have to change my thread here. So bear with me. And I'm going to leave my camera set right where it's at because it's looking good tonight. It's looking good, everybody. Okay. So just in case you're wondering, this is the thread that I'm using right here. That is sulky, 12 weight, blendables, 330 yards or 300 meters on a spool. And it is 100% cotton thread as well. Okay, so where did that spool of thread go? I know what I used on the cells last night is what I'm going to use tonight as well. And that's this cream colored thread right here. Okay. Yes, this machine, I actually purchased this machine from my friends at Flash Sewing and Quilting in Naples, Florida. I was down there teaching, I saw it, and you know what? I fell in love with it. I had to have it. I love this machine. Okay, we're all threaded up. Now in my bobbin, what I have in my bobbin thread through this whole project, what I've been using is this thread right here. This is Orifil, and it's a 50 weight gray thread is what it is. It's Orifil. Okay. I use this to piece with also. Okie dokie. Now, we're gonna start right down here. I'm just gonna hold on to my thread till it gets started. I'm gonna cut it. Okay. Okay, there's that one down. One more cell. Then we can change threads again. Woohoo! Not that way. We're going to come this way this time. No, we're not. Let's see here. I want to come this way. I don't want to start and stop on the upper point of that cell. I want to come around this point here and come back down. You could do it any way you want to do it, but that's just the way that I'm personally going to do it. Because I'm going to take my time so I can... If you saw what I was doing, I was stopping the machine and using my hand wheel to place the first stitch as I come around a turn or a point. Even some of the older Berninas had this number 23 foot. And what I'm talking about are some of the old mechanical metal ones. It'd be called an old style foot. They're not made any longer, but it doesn't mean you still can't find them if you have an older Bernina that you would like to have that foot for. Okay, let's trim that thread. There we go. You want your needle to go right down the very edge of that cut fabric. So this is not something where you're going to press on that gas pedal and make that machine run at top speed. You want to have control over this process. I'm going to slow up as I come to the corner. I always want to stop on the right side with the needle down. I can do one more, I think. Right there. And there we go. Now, next, the sailboat body. We're going to go back to the original thread that we've used so much here, the rust-colored thread for that. Which is this one, right here. Oh, Christina, I'm using, whenever I do this type of applique, I like using a heavier thread because it shows, if you're wanting the stitches to show, your applique stitches, definitely use a heavier weight. It's not because the wool needs it. It's just for how it gives it a more handmade look, in lack of a better word. Now, if you were going to match the thread to each fabric so the stitches kind of disappeared, I wouldn't use a 12 weight. I'd probably use a 50 weight thread if I was going to do that. Or even a 60 weight. But yeah, 50 weight if I was wanting the stitches to more blend in to the fabric and not show as much. Or you could even use, a poly invisible thread, a polyester invisible thread. Okay, let's get this trimmed. There we go. Give me a drink of water. Okay. Okay, now for the sailboat. And I am going to start it right up here. Right there. So we're going to start this one. I'm going to trim it. I like 12-weight threads, Christina. I mean, I love decorative threads. And you can use this thread also in your serger loopers for decorative effects. So it's a multi-purpose thread. It's great for applique. It's great for serger work also. And yes, I am using that knee lift. Sure makes it easy to do this. How many of you use the knee lifts on your sewing machines? Okay, and there's that. Look at that. Hold on. There we go. Move it away just a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Oh, no worries, Christina. Hey, I'm a thread junkie, okay? I have so much thread, I could never, ever sew up all the thread I have, even if I tried. Possibly if I had a lot of 4 strands of thread going through each looper on my serger, would be about the only way I could do that. And don't laugh, that is a thing. Yes, wonderful. I'm glad to see other people use their knee lift, because it is a very handy tool. I'm going to remove this basting stitch right here. You can't hardly see it, but that just needs to go away. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not hurting anything right this second. So, next, we have 2 big pine trees to stitch down, right? Yes, and we're going to have to decide on a thread for that. Right here is our next, and this is houndstooth. It's houndstooth wool. It's 2 different shades of gray. And let me think here for a minute which thread I want to use. I'm not going to use what I currently have in there, even though I could. I'm not going to. I'm going to use, let me think here for a second. Let me look in some of my thread box. I'll just see what I'm doing here. Here we go. That would work, but it's just really too glossy. That's a 12 weight underfill. No, that's too much. Too out there, too gaudy for this particular project. Oh, I see some king cut. Hold on. Hold on here. Ooh, that's got some of the colors in it. It's a variegated king tut. God knows how old this is. That's a strong possibility. It's really green. It might be too green. Hold on. There's the other possibility, is this one. Let's see here. None of those. Nada. Okay. Ouch. Without doing a deep dive for thread, I'm not going to do that. Let me look at one more thing here. Where'd that basket go? Here, little bat. There you are. Do I have... No, I don't. Okay. So, this is 40 weight. I'm going to use this, everybody, what I just used. Absolutely genial. And I would use this. It really is more in line with the tones, but this is only a 50 weight thread, and I'm using nothing but 12 weight in this project. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my gold, my brassy russet gold color. Here we go. Okay. So, I'm going to start right down here on this one end. I thinketh. Yes. Right there. Okay, let me snip it and then I'll get the camera a little closer. Now I've left autofocus on, everybody, because it'll have it'll focus a lot better with these close-up shots. If I turn the autofocus off, this would be blurry, okay? The gold looks nice around there. Look at that. I like that. I like it better than I thought I would. Oops. Move the camera. There we go. I tell you, with all these little stops here and pivoting, boy howdy, the knee lift is sure is handy, let me tell you. keep hitting that with my hand. Sorry, everybody. Almost gonna have one of these done here. And we'll have one more to go for the pine trees, and then the sandy beach, and then all the pieces will be appliqued down that I currently have cut and fused. Okay, there we go. Didn't that turn out pretty? Look at that. Pretty pine tree. You raise that up here. There we go. Oh, and we also have 3 dolphins to stitch down. Ooh, I have got to find just the right, that is a thread I don't have set out for it yet. I will have to search for the perfect dolphin thread. I'm not going to use black because I don't think that would look good. But I also don't want to use a 50 or a 40 weight thread either. So I'm going to be thinking about that. Well, ooh, I already know. Never mind. I'm actually going to use that one right there on it. That will actually blend in fairly well, I think. Hold on. Let's see here. That's a possibility on the dolphins. Right there. Yeah, we'll see. Wait till we get to it. We're going to save the dolphins for last. Okay, so let's go to the opposite end because we're using the same thread on this side. And let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. I do know from reading the instructions ahead, part of the church building will cover up part of this tree here and even part of this sailboat, I think, if I remember correctly. But that's on the next episode. Come down one more stitch. So can anybody guess what I'll be looking for at the AQS Quilt Show in Daytona Beach? Maybe something with the letter W in it, perhaps? I'll try to find a nice wool quilt kit at the AQS Daytona Beach show to bring back and do on camera, everybody. That's what I'll try to bring back for us here on our channel. Have some fun with. Okay. Move that a little closer. Wool is very forgiving. It has a little bit of a stretch to it. So you can manipulate it while you're turning around a corner if you need to, which is something I really like as well. Now, if you're wondering about this particular number 23 applique foot, something I just thought of, this machine will only do 5.5 millimeter stitch length. Okay. So depending which Bernina you have would depend. I don't think you can do anything wider than that with this foot. That is something I will investigate and report on our next episode. Oh yes, Christina, and this time I'm not taking the Mazda. I'm in the minivan on this trip. I will have more room than usual on this trip, because I plan on hitting a few thrift stores in Florida when I'm down there, especially down in Naples, the Naples area. Okay, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. Love, love, love the wool. Oh my gosh. I actually want to do some applique on wool and make me a hat. I'm going to make me a wool applique folk art hat, everybody. Okay, so there's that. Now I have one more area to do that I have fused down here. Then we'll get a look at the big picture. Is this pathway, because right up here, let me hold this up. I'm just going to bring this out. Here on this mound, this is where there'll be a big lighthouse. Okay, this is the pathway. This is the pathway to the lighthouse, is what that is. Okay. Let me see what I just dropped on the floor. Oh, there you are. Spool of thread, imagine that. Excuse me. Okay. I have the pathway next, and then we have the 3 dolphins to do. Okay, so the pathway, let me think on the color here for that. I'm going to use this gold because this is the same wool that's right here for the sandy beach. So I'm going to use that same thread, give it continuity anyway. And then when I get to the lighthouse and the buildings, I'm going to get a bit more creative on my thread choices. Oh, excuse me, with those. Okay. Let me get my camera repositioned here. When I get to those dolphins here after this, that is going to require a lot of twisting and turning on my fabric, I can tell you that, because there's a lot of little details to go around. There we go. Is that good? There we go. I will tell you, it's going right here. It is going through several layers of wool. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. That is 4 layers of wool it's stitching through right there. Adjust my fabric. There we go. Okay. Trim that little tail right there. Alrighty. So there's that. Back that up so you can see that. There's the piece we just did there. Next are the 3 dolphins. Do I dare call them Huey, Dewey, and Louie? I dare. No. Okay. So, let's see here. Excuse me. Somewhere I have gray 12 weight spaghetti Wonderfill thread, but I don't have a clue where it's at. Let me stop and think for just a second. That's what I'd really like to use on it. However, I know that would completely blend into it. That's gray Aurifil. I might use the double blanket stitch and use that if I can't find this other thread. Give me 5 minutes. I have an idea where to go look for it. I'll be right back. Okay, it's break time, everybody. Hold on just a momento. Uno momento. Oh, wait, I know another thread. I have to find it. Actually, that is 50 weight Metler silk finish cotton. That is what I'll use if I can't find anything else. That right there. Okay, I found my spaghetti thread. So I now have it narrowed down to two choices here, everybody. Okay, just pull this out a little bit. Then we can look at these thread choices we're going to think about here a little bit better. There we go. So, 50 weight silk finish by Mettler. Or, this still has the plastic on it. Oh, wait a minute. That is not spaghetti, that is designer. I do not want that. That is for serging or that's good for sergers or for general purpose sewing. So I'm going to use this one right here. This is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the blanket stitch, which is 1310. And I'm going to set this for the 4mm length and 3mm width, just like before. Okay. And I am going to do a test on a scrap before I put it on my main piece, just to be safe. Okay, let me see what I'm doing here. I'm going to take the russet thread out. Bye-bye to that. And we're going to put in the Mettler silk finish. This is wonderful thread. It's silk finish cotton, everybody. I love this thread. It's wonderful to quilt with, to piece with, top stitching, all that fun stuff. But since I don't have a 12 weight thread in the color that I'm wanting, I'm going to use this much lighter weight, 50 as opposed to 12, but I'm going to use a double. I'm going to do the double blanket stitch. So that'll make it look heavier like a 12 weight thread. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. Okay, let me get me a scrap of wool. A couple little scraps. There we go. It doesn't have to be very big. Just enough to do a test stitch on. Okay. Right there. Let's see how this works. Okay, let's cut it. Now that, it's really light. This is like a darker blue. This is the sky blue here. That's not going to work. That is too light. I would not be happy with that. So that's not going to use that. Okay. Let's audition another thread. This is a King Tut variegated 40 weight. I'm going to go back to my other stitch. I'm not going to do the double blanket stitch in this case. Go back to 1309. And we're just going to do a test on this and see what it looks like. Let's try this thread combination out. Okay, let's cut that. It's better, but it does have, it'll add just a little bit of this highlight color because this is a variegated. I think that would be okay. I like it much better than this right here. That's just too much lightness, I think. Yes, I'm going to use the King Tut thread, everybody. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it so it's done. I think it'll be beautiful. Okay. Woo-wee. This executive decision made. Okay, this is going to be interesting. There's a lot of little twists and turns on these dolphins. Okay. I do kind of want the dolphins to like stand out, so I don't mind giving them a little splash of color. Oh no, that looks cute. Excuse me. Get that camera closer. There we go. Okay. I kind of like the little multicolored trim around the dolphin. Excuse me. I tell you, I am going to put a different thread for each dolphin so they're not all exactly alike. Since we went a little whimsical on our dolphin applique thread color. There we go. Here's one of them. It wasn't too bad. But that does look nice though. That adds some color. And once I put in some detailed quilting with different colored threads, it'll blend, so it'll all be good. Okay, so have another one with blue that is this. I'm going to do that one for the next one. I could have used solid black, but I didn't want it to look, I didn't want to use black on this particular one. If I had used black, every single applique stitch I would have used black thread on. Which would have made it really, it would have pulled it all together if I had done that, but I didn't do that. So maybe the next one I will do one that uses nothing but black threads so y'all can see what that looks like. It looks good. I like how it looks. I just didn't want it on, this one just didn't speak to me for that. Okay. 2 more dolphins. Two more little dolphins here. Okay. There. Come here, Mr. Thread. Here we go. I think I just ran out of bobbin thread, everybody, after all this time. Hold on. Something caught. Just snip this underneath. There we go. Let's see what's going on here. If you listen to the sound of your machine, which is what I was doing, makes it kind of easy. Let's see if that's out. Oh, it still has bobbin thread. That was not it. I do see a thread right here. It broke a little piece of thread off. That's what was causing that noise. Still have plenty of bobbin thread. Okay. Okie dokie. We are good to just start lining it up and keep on going. Right here. going to trim this thread tail here before I get down there. That was the tie-off stitch. And there's dolphin number 2. Yes. See? There we go. I think it looks cute that way. One more to go. Let me find one more thread. Since I'm doing it kind of funky, I'm going to put a different variegated thread on each one. And I know which one it's going to be. Let's see, where is it? I'm going to use, this one will really, anyway, I'm going to use a superior thread that's a trilobal polyester. So, I think where that one is, in my menagerie of thread, it's right here close. Let me see. Bingo, I found it. Okay. It's right here. Oops. It's a variegated. Still has the plastic on it. This will have a sheen to it. Do I want that? While I'm unwinding and getting the plastic off of this thread, I'm going to think about that. Oh my goodness, let's see here. Yes, I do. You know what? No, I don't. I'm going to put back my first thread. Okay, I'm going to use this thread. This one and this one will be identical, and then there will be the alpha up here with the different colored thread on it than the other two have. So there we go. Yes, I did say that. That will be the alpha dolphin at the top that we just stitched. There we go. Okay. Lord, I have thread scattered everywhere, everybody. It's a good thing. Okay. But on this one, I am going to do one thing. I'm not going to use a double like I did here. I'm going to use just a single. Yes, I am. I am going to do that. I'm going to use the single blanket stitch. Okay. And that's fine. Yep. Okay. Pull that thread underneath the foot. Live over there for a little while. And keep on the stitching. Here we go. It looks very nice, everybody. I'm so happy with it. Yes, they do, Robin. Absolutely. I never did get to swim with the dolphins, but I did swim with sea turtles when I went to Maui for a week. I was there for about 8 days on the island of Maui. And one of my trips out into the ocean was specifically to swim with the sea turtles, and it was magical. I'm so happy I was able to go there before the island burned last year. Alrighty, that is our 3 dolphins all stitched down, all appliqued. Woohoo, aren't they pretty? Let's put them out here. And I'll tell you, once I press them, they are so nice and flat, perfect, and all that fun stuff. But here are our 3 dolphins, everybody. Right there. Aren't they pretty? Love them. Yes, they are jumping through the water, and the stars and the moon is glistening off of them and making them reflective. That's what I'm going with. Woohoo! So hey, we got a lot done on this tonight. Check this out. It's starting to look like a scene. Here. There we go. There we go. There's the dolphin family right here. What I have to do yet, oh, we're not done yet. I have one more piece. One more piece. Right here, there's a piece that fits on top of the rowboat that's the inside of the rowboat. Let me go fuse that down. And once we stitch that down, that'll be our last piece for tonight. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Iron went off, I gotta let it reheat. Okay, there's paper off of it. is fused. Okay. And the right here is what we're talking about. That is the other part to the rowboat. Excuse me. Okay. But I am going to change my thread color for this. I go back to the trusty bronze gold that we've used heavily in this. This one here. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Let me get this down so you can see what we're doing here. Okay. Let's get that come into focus. There we go. You just trim that thread tail. There we go. Finish my little thread tail right here. There we go. And there it is. Now our little rowboat. Get it down here, you get a good look at it with the bright light off of it. There we go. There's our rowboat. There we go. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't it gorge? Love it. Oh my gosh. Now you're probably tired of hearing me say that, but you know, I have to say this. As long as I've been doing this, when I can get excited about something, everybody, I think hopefully that shows through, because it is true that I'm all excited about this. It's beautiful. I love it. Yes. I even love, now what I used for the pine trees did not come with the quilt kit. That was a piece of wool. This was a piece of wool out of my stash. Everything came, the wool that did not come in the kit when I purchased it was this green. The red that I'm using for the sailboat flags, right there. This red here, Mike bought this for me today over at the Quilt Box in Kewanee, Illinois. Quilt shop over there. The other little sailboat flag right here, it was out of my stash. And then this is the other piece out of my stash. The rest of the wool you see here all came with the kit that I purchased about 8 years ago in New Jersey. But there it is. So I'm so excited. It's so beautiful. And boy, howdy, it is yummy. It is so soft. I just love touching this. I really am kind of planning a really big quilt made out of this, everybody, using the wool. I've never been brave enough to tackle it. But you know what? This has been fairly easy to work with. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, I love the wool. It's my favorite. Other than Kaffe fabric or Tula fabric. Yeah, it's my favorite. I love the wool. Love it, love it, love it. And this is not the type of wool that makes you itch or scratchy. This is super soft wool. This is the type of wool that would have a very low micron count on the fibers. Like it'd be below 18 microns as far as the thickness of the wool fibers. That's what makes wool scratchy. When you get over 23 microns, the higher that number gets, the scratchier it gets. Okay, so that's all done. I will be getting another episode posted here within the next 2 days, and we'll be doing some more. Woohoo, let me swap my camera. There we go, hello everybody. But yes, this one kind of renews the creative spark. I can tell you, when you do a lot of this on a daily basis, you can get burned out. This has put out my burnout flames and makes me want to do more. But here it is, check it out. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. And there's still a lot to add to this. There's 3 buildings, a lighthouse, a church, and the lighthouse keeper's cottage yet to do. So a lot more to go on here. Wow. Yes, I have a new passion to play with. I'm so excited. Thank you, Christina. I love doing it. So everybody, I'm gonna call it a night. I will schedule the next one. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be on Monday. So we'll see. I might do it tomorrow night. Let's see how much energy I have when I get back from my shopping trip tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.